Hello, welcome to the Counterattack playthrough series. We're continuing with our playthrough of Ukraine 43. It is turn 2. But before we dive in, I want to point out one little detail. Definitely look at the comments on YouTube, because there's people point out like, hey, I made a mistake, I forgot to use a double for the river attack, things like that. So that's useful in case you're just wondering like, hey, why'd you not do that? But someone questioned, and whether this move I did in turn 1 was legal. So this guy was here, and I moved him back here. So let's put him here again. Pretend there's no river. If there's no river, this guy could not move here because there'd be a Zoc bond between these two guys. So he would be stuck. And in fact, during the supply phase, he would be out of supply. The only way to break this Zoc bond is for a German unit to be right there. German unit on either side of a Zoc bond, broken. But that's not the case here. So he would be stuck. What allowed that move is the river. The river's in a bend. A Zoc bond cannot cross two river hex sides, which this is the case here. If only one side had a river, there would still be a Zoc bond. So that was a legal move. Just thought I'd point that out because I wasn't really sure when someone questioned it. And in fact, if you play all these Simonage games, they all have little variants from each other. And so, you know, I can't quite keep track of them all. So anyway, let's go in and start turn 2, weather phase. Here's the weather table. We are in August still. Roll a 6-sided die. Got 4. August, we can see the weather's all clear, so we're still clear here. But it does tell us how many aircraft we get. Both sides get 2 aircraft. All right, we'll go set that up. In case you're wondering what that looks like, here they are. Available, used. We're starting the Soviet player turn, and the first thing we do with that is the initial phase, which we place reinforcements and use replacements. We do that in any order we want. Reinforcements, turn 2, just 1. This is a fairly light game in terms of number of units, which is kind of interesting. I like that. You know, instead of some games where there's 5 to 10 reinforcements a turn, it's like 1 to 3. Turn 2 for replacements, we can see it's the same as turn 1. 2 infantry, 1 armor, 1 special. Here we're looking at the German salient around Kharkov. Here's the Soviet offensive pushing in, right? Resistance looking a little stiff there, but I think I want to try to reward that push with this reinforcement that we're getting. So here it is, and it has to go into a city or town. So there's a city or major city, something like that. Minor city, major city. So we'll go right there, and then we have an armored replacement, right? There's probably a damaged armored unit on the board here, but I think I'm going to go over to the eliminated units box here. You can see all the Soviet ones. Remember, this guy in turn 1 was destroyed. We'll bring him back because that's a 536. That's a good one. Go ahead and put that into Kursk as well. Okay. Now I need to find 2 infantry, which I can reconstitute or repair. I'm inclined to... Well, I can't use it the turn... Oh, in fact, yeah, that guy I put up in Kursk up here. It has to be marked as having been a replacement. This guy was a reinforcement. So I think I want this guy to get replaced. So put him underneath. That's infantry number 1. I think infantry number 2 will be one of these guys from 5th Shock Army. Doesn't matter, I forget which one I just flipped. And then we have a special unit, and fortunately it's not going to go to waste. We have this cavalry unit right here, started out depleted. Alright, that's all reinforcements and replacements. Okay, next thing, we didn't get to do this in the first turn, is the Soviets get 3 flips, basically flipping artillery units. So they have more than 3 artillery units that are spent. They have quite a few that are used on the board. These artillery divisions. And then over here, the Stavka Reserve has those, I forget what they're called, guards artillery or something, red artillery units. So we get 3 flips. These guys can't leave this box unless they get flipped, and then they can go to the map. So what I'm kind of thinking, I haven't played this game too much, is like these are intended to be used for like major offensives and breakthroughs. So I think I'm going to just flip 1, and then each turn I'll like flip 1. And once I have 3, you know, unless there's some kind of emergency, I'll bring them all on the map at once and try to get a big kick. But so where I'm going to, you know, what artillery am I going to flip on the map? So these guys, remember they have a range of 2. So if I flip these guys, this one can certainly move forward 1, fine. If you move more than 1 hex, you lose your ability to fire though. So this guy, I guess he can move that way, but I think this one's good. This one's a good flipper. All right, so we'll flip that. This one, I think it'd be better to move up and wait. What else we have here? We have this guy here, and then there's some further south. Got this guy here. These southern ones started the game already flipped. I don't think that guy's going to be that useful. I do need to get these railroads moving forward. Is there any artillery back here? No. Well, I think I need to back up places that have force in place. So we'll do this guy. All right, so 3 flips. Later in the game, as the Soviets get extended, we can sacrifice flips to do emergency resupply. So you can think of each flip as like a supply activity, and you can forgo bringing artillery shells to the artillery units in order to fuel and feed troops. But anyway, too premature right now. All right, now for the movement phase. Well, let's see, I got some guys in the back here. I think I want to move forward. I really want to push this guy out of the way so I can occupy this railroad line to bring this up, which means I want to put someone there as well. So, what can we do here? So, first off, I know there is a replacement in the 5th Shock Army. Replacement's going to move 1, so I'll move it out. Okay, and then this guy is this guy got replacements last turn. This guy, he's going to move into it. Okay, so 5th Shock Army, it's not full strength, but it's close to full strength. I want to get someone here, so this tank could come here. It would be in danger of this guy attacking it and destroying it. If I go here and this guy attacks, he can advance into here. There's no longer a zone of control bond in this situation. So I don't want to put a weak unit there necessarily. This cavalry unit, that's pretty strong defensively. And let's see, yeah, cavalry just moves like infantry, so I guess we'll go 1, 2, 3, 3.5. Must stop upon entering the zone of control. Okay, again, why I'm going here, so I can move this rail line, or this rail head forward at least 1 hex. I'm assuming these are important things to do. There's other games that have similar things you got to do. Okay, so I'm thinking that'll be an attack there. I wish I had artillery. These guys will hold. Down here. Yeah. Okay. So I think I want to try to take Taganrog on a horrible attack. Someone was joking with me. I shouldn't be making bad attacks. Probably correct, but let's see what we can do. So this guy here, he can go. Oh, he can't go very far. 3, 1, 2, 3. I want to get 2 guys here. We can go here. So maybe, oh man, this is a 13 defense. Yeah, that's not happening. Maybe we should concentrate on this then. I need to try to push through, right? So I'll push these guys through. This is going to be an attack here. Try to push this out. This is 7. We got 6 there. I doubt I'm going to get 14 packed into there. Oh man, it's very tough to attack down here. If I get 12 in infantry, I can bring a tank down. Okay, so this guy will come in here. And let's see. I was trying to thinking like this guy can go up here, but they only go 3. They're very slow. Well, I think this guy's going to spend 2 movement points to exit an enemy zone of control. And then 1 to move back into this one. I guess he could have just gone zone of control to zone of control 2. Okay, so now we have 12 there. So let's bring it up to 14 to get a 2-to-1. So mechanized crossing a minor river. I'm just kind of trying to remember the rules. Unless it's raining, minor river is irrelevant. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that'll be a 2-to-1 attack. There's a decent attack there, maybe. Well, borderline. Up here, just holding. Remember when you advance, you don't have to go into the defender's hex. So if I can just get an advance, this guy can go here, and that would allow this to move up 2 if if it's successfully able to do that. Okay, what else we got? This guy here, he's a good defense. I'm inclined to move him 2 down to here. Hold that spot. Okay, we'll just abandon Tag and Rock. That was a great idea, but gone. And then this guy will go 1, 2, 3. Or actually 1, 2, yeah, 3. Or 2.5. 3. Okay, there we go. Along the road. These guys could move in here and then attack this, so I think I better keep this guy here to defend. This guy, mechanized movement 5, so he's not going to be useful right now, but I want to move him up to be more useful later. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just go there for now. What else we have? What else we have? Again, this is the southern front. If you're not familiar with this map area, Stalino is the main area. Go off this way. Okay, we got a artillery unit here. Ooh, did I not use that? Yeah, I guess I don't see any attacks I did here. Okay. So I didn't realize there's 4 of these artillery units. Let me make sure. It's hard. Ugh, sorry. It's very hard for me to film this one. It's like just the camera is off, viewfinder is often out of my sight. Okay, so up here, yeah, I guess I didn't. This guy was not. I don't think either of these were used last turn. So I think we're going to slide him over this way. So okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this guy will do the same. And then it's fine to do this. Let's mark them both disrupted, just so we know that they can't fire. Okay, southern front, and I kind of bled it into part of the southwest front. Southwest front is on this side. It's going to be pretty static. Over here, going to try to get through. Let's scooch over there. Here's the remainder of the southwest front. It ends around here. Any movement in here? We got this guy. Can I push him into anywhere? That would be useful. Don't really see anything yet. I'm anticipating getting some movement here, so maybe we'll just bring it down like just a little closer. So we're already at max stacking all down here. Okay, let's move up into the steppe front area. This is covers half of the Kharkov area. Any movement I want to do here? Well, this guy, like when this guy retreated, it freed up these 2 guys. That's not that great of a move because now they can cross this river, and since some units are can attack this guy without crossing the river, the doubling would be canceled even if these guys attacked. I don't know if that's what I want to do. If we're moving forward there, I think that's all I want to do in this section. Let's go for the southern part of the Voronezh. Oh, Zhukov's back in action. I think, yeah, this guy can go one without flipping. I'm inclined to move this guy forward into the German defenses. What the heck am I going to do against all these doubles? I need to get into a spot where I can attack someone from the German side of the river, and it looks like I can. So these guys are going to go 1-2 to exit a zone of control. Or I should say it's +2. I may have cheated on someone down below. No, it was fine. But yeah, it would be 1 to go in here, +2 to leave the zone of control. But I can just go from zone of control to zone of control. Okay, so for some reason I thought I covered that as the Germans, but apparently I didn't. So now this guy's in jeopardy because they can get a non-double attack. I mean, he's still tough. You know, with this guy, it won't be at such a disadvantage. These guys, they're going to slide around over here. I think we might even take one of these guys. Yeah. Bring him over here too. I have 6 movement, so we're good. Okay, what else? We got this guy up here. Oh, we have this artillery unit here. I think I'm going to move it down here. Actually, yeah, why not go further? Oh, I don't want to get it in a spot where the Germans could actually hit it. So we'll go there. Up here, we got this guy. I had him behind the front lines. Oh, whoa. Where did I miss that guy? Ooh. I had this guy behind the front lines just kind of protect against breakthroughs. Man, this is a powerful unit here. Yeah, where we're going to send this guy? What do the Germans have down here? Ooh, that's tough. 13. So I think both these guys are going to cruise 1, 2, 2.5 stop. Possibly attack this guy. It'd be a 2-to-1. Plus the defensive belt and all that. Don't think I'm going to do it, but we'll see. We'll see. But way up here, we have 1 replacement and 1 reinforcement. So first the reinforcement. You can only move 3. Now you can use extended movement, which means you can add +3 to your move if you don't go in, you basically don't move up against an enemy. So you can go, let's see, I haven't used a primary road. Yeah, for non-mech it's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't particularly want to go that way. So instead he's going to train up, since the reinforcement, all reinforcements may train. So we'll train up and come down to here. So yeah, you can do all reinforcements by train and then 1 other unit. And I read the rules about training. It says you can't in train if you're disrupted or in full retreat. So he's not. And if I go to the replacement rules, it says replacement unit can move no more than 1 hex. I would have thought the train rules would say can't be a replacement, can't be marked for replacement. So it's a little ambiguous to me. I'm going to call it this can in train. And the reason is because it wasn't called out specifically like other statuses in the train rules. So I think he'll come down here too and just double up with this guy. So what do we got here? Just want to make sure the correct status is clear. Okay, and I think that's all the moves for the Soviets. Okay, it's now the combat phase. We're back down at the southern front. One thing about the movement phase though, each side can build 1 fortification per turn. I think that's what the rule is. You're kind of limited to your fortifications, and it's not clear to me if you can remove them once they're built. So I'm not gonna, I don't see a need for the Soviets to build any yet. But once they take key locations, they probably will. So letting you know, I'm like foregoing the free start of a fortification. It takes 2 turns to build it too. So anyway, I probably should have had the Germans build one last turn. In fact, maybe I'll cheat during the German turn and build one. But Southern Front, I think we're going to do 2 attacks, here and here. I think this one's probably the better one to do, for starters. 5th Shock Army contains 9 attack strength. And then these guys will join in 2. That's 19 plus 3 is 22 to 7, 3 to 1 odds. Shifted left for the defensive belt that this unit's in. So there's no artillery available to me, so I need to decide, is this the one I want to throw some aircraft into as the attacker? I think the answer is no. I want to save that for the main thrust, which is up by Kharkov. So then, do the Germans want to throw it in? Like, we don't want this front to break, but I think it'd be worse if the other front broke, so we're going to save the aircraft. And just a reminder, there's also quality advantages that could happen. Everyone's the same quality. You can get armor advantage, basically, or armor bonus, I think it's called. But the defensive belt cancels out attacking armor. So yeah, we're just doing a straight 2 to 1. Let's do this. Ooh, nice. Got a 6. 6 on the, you can probably see off the camera, so I probably won't display this one. It's a D1. The defender loses 1 step. Surviving defenders must either retreat, become disrupted, or conduct a determined defense. If the defender retreats, the attacker receives the bonus advance. So we don't want them to advance. So we'll take the step loss. Now before we process that though, let me roll a die for potential heavy casualties. Remember 4 to 6 is heavy casualty. We got a 4. So we do take a casualty. I think we're going to take it in the 5th Shock Army. So we flipped this guy. Now this guy has to decide determined defense or retreat. Let's just look at this determined defense table. Other is the column we want for this terrain. So we have a 50% chance of losing that unit because it's on its last step. I'm not sure that's good to do with a 33% chance of winning. Now if we throw in our air support defensively, right here, +1 air support, then it shifts a bit. Right? It's we're now a 33% chance of taking a loss. And 2/5 chance of succeeding in the defense. I don't think it's worth it right now. Like you can see here, major city is more useful. The dots are the successful defense. So major city and even minor city are better than other terrain. So I think we're gonna have to retreat. This is a tough call because I just looked up. You have to memorize this. The D1 is a retreat of 3 hexes, right? So that's going to bust this line open, and they're going to get a bonus advance. But if I risk if I take the 4 in 6 chance of dying, or I forget what it was, maybe it was 50% chance of dying, and I actually die, they're going to advance anyway, and I won't have someone blocking this path down here. So I think he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and become disrupted. Now for the bonus advance, looking on the advance rates chart, non-mech can go 2, and cavalry and mech 3. So this guy's a mix of infantry or non-mech and mech, but it's mostly infantry. So I think I'm going to drop off a 363 out of it, so I'm reducing its strength a bit. And it's just going to advance here and try to hold this spot so that we can try to move this railhead forward. C363 that was dropped out, he's going to go 1, 2. Zokbon that up. Okay. Now these guys that participate in the attack, they're all mech, so they can go 3. Now they could just go 1, 2 and attack them, doing a mobile attack. But that would be like a not even 2 to 1 odds. I don't want to waste it. These guys, look like good guys, and I want to heal them at some point, get them to even better. In fact, if I was paying attention, I probably would have flipped one of them as a replacement. But anyway, they got a duty to do here. So they're going to advance 3. So we'll go 1. I think we should like push in here. 3. Is that what I want? I mean, I could be driving on Stalino, or I could try to just roll up the line a bit. That might be better. 1, 2, 3. Get in here. Huh. I don't know. That might be a little bit better. So we'll come up here. It's probably less aggressive, but I sort of want to try to unzip the line, and then all these units that sort of bog down could start joining in on the general attack. Okay, so yeah, that was the entire combat. Now for this combat. So one nice thing about doing this one first is like this guy, he has to retreat this way if he's going to retreat. Chances of him retreating though are slim. Oh yeah, I remember now. I got a 2-to-1 here. No, so that's 2-to-1 reduced to 1-to-1 for the defensive belt. Let me remind myself, 1-to-1. The chances of the defender retreating is 50-50, and me taking a loss is 50. Or I'm 5 out of 6 values are a loss on my end, plus the heavy casualty table. I'm doing it though. Feels very Soviet, so no one's going to support this. Got a 4. A 4 on the 1-to-1 is A1 DR. Attacker loses 1 step. The defender must retreat and become disrupted or conduct a determined defense. Okay, so attacker must take a loss, huh? I think we'll take it from this guy here. And then while I'm doing that, let's do heavy casualties table. 4 to 6 is a loss. Got a 4. So I guess I'll take it from this guy here. All right. This guy, DR, must retreat or conduct a determined defense. So he hasn't taken a loss. So I think that is worth doing a determined defense. Both sides need to pick a lead unit. Well, he only has 1 unit, so we'll just pick another one of these Russian tan units. Nope, there's not going to be any defensive air support. So here we go. Got a 5. 5 on the determined defense table is lead. Defender's lead unit takes 1 step loss, but we succeed. So here's the step loss, but he can cancel the retreat. So yeah, I think that was a good choice in that case for determined defense. Okay, moving up the line a bit to this area, which I had high hopes for, but I just feel like I'm not going to be able to push through here without taking very heavy losses. Or I'll just take heavy losses and not push through. I feel like I need to wait for this artillery to come online next turn maybe. You know, this guy's got 14 defense because he's across the river, plus he's in the defensive band. You know, this isn't actually 14 attack strength because there's a wounded guy underneath here, so I just don't see pushing across just yet. So let's go up to the Kharkov area. Feeling a little less aggressive after the first turn. So I originally intended to attack here. You know, I've got some decent forces here, but it's going to be 1-to-1 or so, roughly, you know, depending on the situation. I think this is a good guy to attack. And the reason is, if someone is attacking him from his side of the river, he cannot benefit from the river defenses, even if there's another unit attacking from there. So I can get a big old attack onto this guy without the river benefit. Okay, let's count initial odds for this attack. So defender 7. I think all these guys will attack, so there's 6, 12, 13, 16, 18. 18 to 7, 2-to-1. Defensive belt here brings it down to 1-to-1. Flip this back to 2-to-1. Soviets have 2 aircraft. I think I want them to be used up here though. So we're just going to leave it at 2-to-1. So the Germans have to decide if they're going to back it up with one of their 2 aircraft. And this doesn't seem too critical compared to up here. So the answer is no. So that's going to be a straight 2-1. Let me think. Is Zukov in range? No, he's not, because he could add 1 more. Okay, we got a 3. 3 on the 2-1 is A1 DR. So that's defender is going to retreat or do a determined defense. And A1, of course, is the attacker loses 1 step. So let's lose that step, but also take heavy losses of 3. That's no loss. I probably should choose my step before rolling, though. Guess we'll win this guy here. So this group is rapidly becoming... Oh, you know what? No, I don't want that guy. I was going to say this group's rapidly becoming combat ineffective in terms of attack, but I think we'll flip with this guy here. Okay, so these guys have to, the Germans have to retreat or do a determined defense. Ugh, I'll fix that mess. So, the question is, how badly do I want to hold that line, or that position? I don't think I care too much. I mean, it's going to make it easier for the Soviets to attack this guy and this guy if this guy moves up, because you're getting 3 hexes on 1, but they still can't bust through here. So I think I'm going to retreat him. And a DR is a 2 hex retreat. So I believe that's true. So we'll just, this helps me out. Just sort of slowly moving my way back. The attacker may advance 2. Well, I can't quite. I think just these guys are going to move in like this. Maybe we'll get this tank across too. Okay, just inching forward. Alright, what else we got up here? Kind of rotate up the line. Now originally I thought this would be a good place to attack, right? But there's 2 Germans there, so that's 12 defense. Minor city, let me double check. Yeah, defender times 2 in a minor city. So, that's 24. There's no way we're attacking there, even if we got a bunch of artillery here. I think it's better to, bypass and cut off. So that'll take a bit of time. So let's move over here. So we got a few spots. Kind of like this one first, maybe. Get a big attack against this guy. He is behind a river, but I got this guy around the corner, right? So it won't be double. 5th Tank Army, looking off map, it's got 23 attack. So there's 25 plus 14, 39, 41 plus 6, 47 to 8. That's 5 to 1, almost 6 to 1, but 5 to 1. This guy gets an elite bonus, so that drops it down to 4 to 1. But yeah, so what are the Russians going to do? The Soviets? They don't have any artillery in range, but yeah, this is a good. Let's just go all in. We'll use one of our air units. Goes to 5 to 1. Of course, immediately canceled out. Germans bring it back to 4 to 1. Trying to see if there's anything else. Zukov could kick in his +1. I don't think we're going to do that. I think I'd rather save it for attack here, maybe one over there. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this. 4 to 1. Oh, that's not good. Got a 1. DRX. DRX is each side loses 1 step. The unit selected is determined by the opposing player. The defender must either retreat and become disrupted or conduct a determined defense. So the defender retreats, the attacker may advance after combat at the normal rate. I'm not too interested in a determined defense. We're in clear terrain. Yeah, I think I want to save those mostly for cities. And if this guy falls back too, he's got Zoc bonds here. So I think we'll do that. But yeah, he took a loss. And he gets to choose a loss from one of these guys. I'm inclined to force this to take a loss. Okay. Now for the advance, I think this guy is going to stay put. This guy's going to advance into the defender's hex and it has to stop. So it enters the zone of control. Actually, you can ignore the first zone of control if you enter the defender's hex. So I could go one more, I believe. I think I can come down here if I wanted. Let me make sure that's correct, and then we'll go ahead and see if we want to advance this part of the attack. Yeah, that's right. There is no zone of control in consideration in the defender's hex, so we can ignore it and then move in. So I think I like doing this push down. So what's this guy gonna do? I think he's gonna advance into the defender's hex, so there's no zone of control, and then come over here. And just worming our way down, putting pressure on that pocket. Might be a good counterattack opportunity for the Germans, hard to say, but becomes less likely when I remember to do this. There's no heavy losses to roll for because we're no longer in that kind of terrain. So, yeah. Now there's one rule I haven't played yet, which is a mobile attack, I think it's called. That's when you use one of your advance after combat step or moves to move into an enemy, basically attack them. So, for example, I believe this guy could have used his advance to go, 1, 2, for example, and attack him. Probably attack one of these guys too, or alternately, but I don't think I have the strength just yet to be doing that, because I'd be looking at 1-to-1 odds. I don't want to do too much of that with my main spearhead here. Also, I know I rolled a 1. Zhukov could have forced a reroll, but I actually kind of like that. It's guaranteed loss to a decent German unit, and I have extra steps here then compared to the Germans. Okay, next attack. I think we're going to go here when the defense is 10. Real quick, I almost forgot something. Now that we're out of the fortifications, besides the 1 shift left that they give, I also have to start paying attention to the armor bonus. I think that's what it's called in this game. Tank bonus, armor bonus, something like that. So if both sides have tanks, we're good. So I need to start paying attention though when one side doesn't have tanks, or one side has anti-tank, which we can see this little white dot denotes anti-tank. Of course, this guy is anti-tank too. So I believe anti-tank cancels out the tank bonus if one side has tanks and the other doesn't. We'll check this out in a second. But I think, let's see, this is 10 defense. Do I want to attack 10 defense? Well, this actually has an 8, an 8, a 7, and a 2, so that's 25. Is that right? Yeah. And then what do I have here? Looks like 31, 32, 33 to 10. That'd be 3-to-1. Yeah, we're going to do that attack. Okay, I just double checked on the tank rule. It's called the tank shift. Different versions of the game have different names. But so yeah, anything with a white dot on the defense cancels out tanks of the attacker in terms of the tank shift or bonus. And then first tank army has mech infantry. That counts as tank. It's because there's tanks mixed in with these units, right? And then there's an armor unit. It also counts as tank. So if this guy wasn't here though, this guy would cancel it out because he's also tanks. So you just have to have tanks and the other side not have tanks, or the other side not have a tank destroyer. Tank destroyers, or the white dot, don't count for the attacker though. Anyway, belaboring this. No tank shift. So I have to decide, we'll throw this artillery in here. So that brings us up to 4-to-1. Do I want to send in my aircraft? Yes. That's German, oops. My last aircraft, so that brings it up to 5-to-1. Zhukov gonna throw his 1 in? No. Zhukov will hang on. So now for the Germans. Yeah, we'll go ahead and throw in our last aircraft too, bring it down to 4-to-1. Yeah, that's it. Oh, elite bonus, 3-to-1. Germans have a elite unit here. I'm not even sure I've spotted the Soviets having anyone elite. I don't see any on the board. There might be some, I don't know. So, here we go. Got 4. That is DR, Defender Retreat, though they can opt to make a determined defense. We're in clear, 50% chance of taking a loss, basically. If the lead unit of the defender is elite, they can get a +1 on the die roll. I think I'm okay with this retreat. Hopefully this is a legal retreat. I'm gonna make sure that's legal, because I could go a little closer to the German west edge of the map, and some games have that kind of rule, but yeah, I'll go ahead and mark where they retreated from. Yeah, I think that's a legal retreat. I'll just read off the rules. If possible, you have to end up 2, 3, or 4 hexes away as appropriate. Did that. You can never end a retreat in an enemy zone of control, and may never enter 2 consecutive vacant hexes in an enemy zone of control. Well, didn't do that. If possible, avoid ending the retreat in a hex that contains friendly units that are adjacent to enemy units. Nope. If possible, retreat to a hex that can trace a line of supply. Yes. Possible, avoid ending the retreat in violation of stacking restrictions. We're good. Retreat to any hex that does not cause elimination. So they're actually fairly lenient. Some games, really are strong about the direction you retreat. For advance, it's a little tricky, because if both advance, I'm opening up a little gap in my line. I think I want this guy to go here, 1, 2. And this guy's going to advance not into the defender's hex, but into his buddy's old hex. And we have a little Zoc bonds around those guys. Theoretically, there would be a Zoc bond between these two guys, except these guys are adjacent to, they're on either side of the Zoc bond, so they cancel it out. But they're getting in danger. I'm starting to pinch this thing closed. These guys are a little more in danger. There's not much room for them to escape now. Now I could reconsider an attack up here. I'm not going to, because these are weak guys. But if I could force this guy out, these guys out, it's 12 times 2 is 24 defense. They might struggle to get to a good retreat location. I guess they could probably just go straight down here though. So I'm not quite at the point where I'm cutting guys off from retreat. Now both Manstein and Zukov can force a reroll, but so far I haven't felt the need to do a reroll from either side. I was looking around if there's any more attacks I want to do, and I don't think so. I'll be looking at like 1-to-1 odds, and I think, especially for the Soviets in this area, I want to preserve my strength so that I can keep feeding units in to this assault. Now, one thing I need to remember, and retreats aren't free when I realize it, is I need to mark units disrupted. That makes it look a little different. So anyway, I think that's the end of the Soviet combat phase. So now we're going to go for the Soviet recovery phase, where any disrupted Soviet or equivalent markers can come off. So this guy will come off. What do we have here? That was a replacement. So basically replacement markers come off, and replacement marker, disrupted marker, so that artillery's online. Replacement marker, I think that was it. Okay, now for the Soviet supply phase. So first we move railhead markers. This one can't move. This one can move, and because there's friendlies there, you can move through there. Can't. Can. What else we got? Did I miss that one last time? I may have. Can't. Yeah, they're all moved up now. Yeah, there's nothing down here. In fact, I use this rail line here, and it's not marked green, which means it's not repaired. Is that true? Yeah. Okay, so I'm cheating a little. I couldn't move these guys by rail on this rail line that isn't highlighted with green. So rail lines that are not highlighted in green are only active if their endpoints are green and repaired. So up here, we're good. It's green. But down here, if we follow it, it's here, and we need to move this guy down to here. to connect that rail. So let me figure out where I would have moved these guys. I would have moved them by rail. So I think we would have moved them to like here. Just try to get them closer to the front. So that was a little cheat. But yeah, so we moved a couple forward. Now we check supply of Soviet units. I'm just gonna skim the map. Everyone's in supply. The most tenuous supply path, I think, the Soviets have here is for this first tank army. But you may always trace through one enemy zone control. You can't go through two consecutive. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to this rail line, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're not in scary zone yet, but you know, we're kind of pushing a little too far without getting our rail lines moved up. In fact, this guy next turn probably should come back and hit this from behind. In fact, now that I'm looking at it, let me, you know, I'm sort of cheating a little, but I'm playing myself, you know. He probably, instead of going like this, probably should have come, I guess he can go 1, 2. Is that even going to help me though? Is that guy going to be cut off? You can still trace through, I guess it doesn't help that much. Maybe I went 1, 2. That's better. I guess I'm trying to decide. Should he come back and try to knock this out? Because this is like a little bottleneck, right? Should he knock that out? Or should he stay here and help really push these units back? Here he's not going to have a lot to do, but at least being next to someone disrupted is good. I think that's a better move. That's better. Okay, cheating done. Okay, no other rules are applicable right now, so that's the end of the Soviet player turn. Okay, now for the German player turn, they get 1 574 infantry reinforcement, and they get 1 armor and 1 infantry replacement on turn 2. We'll go ahead and put the reinforcement on the supply source over by Kiev, far on the west. For the armored replacement, I want to flip one of these guys from the 6th Army. Now they look like mech infantry, which they are, but there's a special rule that says these actually require armor replacements, so I guess it's armor heavy. Flipping that puppy over is 12-10, so I think it's pretty solid. Oh, and I better not forget to throw a replacement marker on there, so we'll go throw it on the bottom there. Now for the infantry replacement, I'm looking at the Kharkov area here, and I think I want to flip this puppy here. I'm a little, I mean, there's a bunch of other things I could flip too, but I'm a little worried about the Soviet push right here, so beef that up. Okay, movement phase now. We're down in the Stalino area again, Russian southern front. We can remove these train markers from last time. And this reveals some units I moved in here by train first turn. The white background, as a reminder on the defense strength, means those are, I guess, green or conscript type troops. But they're not going to do so hot because they'll get a minus or a left shift and a negative shift in combating better units. So maybe we'll, I don't know, they can't really attack very well either. So maybe we'll just, you know, chill out with those guys for the moment. But this is a concerning breakthrough, actually. I need to deal with it as the Germans. I'd like to patch this up here. Yeah, it's just one guy there. I need, you know, this guy's disrupted, so he can't really do much here. I need to get some kind of counterattack going, I think. So let me remind myself what's down here. So that's a defensive 6, another defensive 6, and this all counts as armor. So that's 14 defense. It's going to be tough to hold off. So maybe instead, try to push this guy back. So, let's see if I can, oh yeah, here it is. So we got this mech infantry down here, 7 moves. I think we can bring it up to here. Can attack this guy. Throwing his zone of control over to here. There's another one over here. It's on its damage side, but it also attacks at 6, which is convenient. These areas are so close to each other, I'm not even bothering counting. This guy can move 7. There's lots of roads, so we'll go ahead and throw him right in here. There's a Zoc bond between these two here. So right now there's a 2-to-1. Armor advantage. Is there anything else I can get in there? It'd be nice to get a 3-to-1. It's going to be a bit of a tough go to get a 3-to-1 in there. I think what I can do is move this SS mech infantry. Go 1, 2. I have to avoid this zone of control here, so we'll go 3, 4, 5, 6. Bam. As a reminder, Germans can stack up to 3. So right now we got what, 20 to 6. I could try to get 4-to-1. 4-to-1. Is that right? 20? Yeah. Just need 4 more attack factors in there, huh? I think we can do this. This guy's weak here. We'll go 1, 2 to leave the zone of control. 3. So now I just need 2 more factors. And, you know, I do want to deal with this here. So I think this guy, he's a 4. He's going to go 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. Oops, yeah. So it's 1, 2 to leave plus 1 to go in there. That was 3. So this guy would be 1, 2. Well, 1 to go in here, plus 2 for leaving the zone of control. So we'd only have 1 more move. I was trying to think I can move him up to here. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm kind of thinking I want to like shift this line up a little, sort of weakening my defenses a bit, but there's 2 guys stacked here, right? So, well, I guess I'll pull this guy back regardless. 1, 2, 3 for exiting, 1 for leaving, 2 for zone of control exit. 4. Roads do not affect the movement of non-mech outside of just ignoring other terrain or whatever. I'm not going to be able to roll someone up in here to fill gaps here. So I wonder if I can get one of these garbage units over here to fill it in. Let's see, this guy can go 3. No. 1, 2, 3. So I don't know. I'll have to see what happens, because I can throw this guy into the battle here. What happens if I have a poor quality unit and a high quality unit in a battle? You only take into account the best rating, so that's great. So I think this guy, he'll just go 1, 2, and go ahead and stack in there as well, since the Germans can stack 3. Got 4-to-1 odds there. I have denuded my defenses here a bit, which I do not like. But maybe we'll get a nice little advance here. Okay. What else we got? We got a situation up near Vorshilovgrad. Russians are making a good push in here. They're even moving their railroad forward. This is a strong force here. Got some guys about to be cut off. There would be a Zoc bond between these 2 guys here. It's only 1 river. Can't cross 2 rivers. But these guys are adjacent to each other across a hex side, so the Zoc bond is killed. I think this guy needs to get out of here. He's completely surrounded. I mean, he is tying down a bunch of troops. But I think he'll do a Zoc to Zoc move. I'll throw him on the bottom. Not that it matters. It's the same basic strength. So he'll stop there and he'll hold that corner. Question is, should I leave this guy here to hold the corner? I don't think so. I think this guy will leave zone of control. 1, 2, 3. I don't know, maybe he'll just do Zoc to Zoc like this. Okay, and then this guy. Maybe he'll come in over here. So I guess these garbage units aren't that bad if there's other units stacked with them. Okay, so this is ripe for the taking. Man, it's really tight over here. Russians pushing down here. This is gonna have some issues. Yeah, man. I can see the Germans having a tough go here. So I think I need more troops down there. Let me think about this. Well, we'll hold off on moving more troops for now. Let's kind of move up the line here. There's a bunch of troops here. There's enough rivers and defensive belts. I feel like I can hang on here a bit. Just kind of doubled up here. Yeah, probably should keep that doubled up. We'll get this guy to patch holes here. Yeah, the German part of this is a real puzzle, I think, at the moment. The Soviets, a little less so, from my point of view anyway. So got some disrupted guys here. I want to probably pull them back if I can to avoid having to roll a die to remove the disruption marker. It only comes off for free if you're not in the zone of control. One thing I forgot on turn 1 that I should be doing every turn is starting to build a fortification somewhere. So you start it, you do 1 per turn. The Germans have a lot of these markers, so I'm okay using them, plus they're under attack. Soviets can do it too, but they have fewer markers and they're going to be moving more, so I'm not so sure about building them, but I'm inclined to start building it just outside of Sumy and hope the Russians don't get a big attack in there. I think it gives a 1 left shift to the attacker. So we'll start building it there. Wait, it's already in a fortified zone, so that's dumb. This is equivalent to one of these fortified zones. So I want to build it somewhere strong that doesn't have or needs some strength. I don't know, maybe we'll start building it here. It doesn't have to be built where there's units, just has to be in supply, friendly territory. So we'll just throw it there since that's clear terrain. Try to hold that for another turn, that way it'll get finished and give a little shift to whoever's there. Man, this area is rough. So I feel it's probably time for at least these guys to get out of here. Which is unfortunate because then it'll free up all these Soviet units. But they're in trouble. I mean, they are, I think they're cut off from supply currently. Yeah, they have zones of control surrounding them. Enemy zone of control. So, well, they can't do much right now, but I have something on my sleeve a little bit, but and I'm not going to leave one behind just to sacrifice himself to delay a 1 point turn, so they'll just come down here. Zone of control to zone of control. And then we'll try to do something else with them later. So I'm trying to also think, do I want to do a counterattack of some kind? I think that'd be good. What do we have in here? Oh, yeah, so that's 9, 10, 11 with armor. What can I muster here? Do I want to do a 2-to-1 attack? Maybe this guy here. I think this would be the better. So this guy, he's disrupted in an enemy zone of control. So I'd rather push these guys back if I can. So let's see what we can do. I think this replacement's going to help. Oops. So I think this guy is going to come around here and join, just cover this disrupted guy. So that's 20. What did I say we had in here? 3 defense, 9, 10, 11. So that's 20. So if I can get 22, that'll be a 2-to-1. I got this extra guy here. I'm running out of I'm running out of reserves here. So this guy, I was thinking he'd come over and help. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll get 3 guys stacked there. So that gives me enough to get a 2-to-1 attack, which is not that great. These guys should probably be stacked together. This guy's going to do a zone of control to zone of control move. Up to 14 defense there. This and this hex are in danger. I want to maintain using that fortified area though. I need to keep this guy here so I can have these guys escape. I'll show you what that means. Although, yeah, there's an enemy zone of control projected into here. So, let's see. I think this guy's back in supply actually. Huh. Well, we'll see. I'm thinking this guy will cover these guys trying to do a breakout. But I'd really like another unit here. I think they're just going to have to hang on. These guys here, these disrupted guys, they're strong. I need to, oh, one of them's strong. I need to de-disrupt them. In fact, This guy will just come back here. Yeah, I don't want some cannon fodder. He'll come back with him. Okay, and everyone else further north, don't think they're going to move. They're just going to hold. Yeah. I do have that one reinforcement. We're going to bring it in by rail. It's going to settle in here with Mr. Manstein right into Kharkov. I could send it all the way south, which is also in trouble, or here. I feel like this area is a little more tenuous. Okay, German movement phase. Let's go in for German combat phase, and we're going to focus on this battle here. So just to show what we got, we have a 12. It's considered armored, but we got defenders that are armored, so it doesn't really matter. Plus, wait, did I get enough in here? Yeah, plus 11, so that's 23 against 11 defense. We got 2 to 1. Plus, we are elite, so that'll be 3 to 1. 3 to 1 looks pretty good. You know, we can take losses on 50% of the rolls, but there's a retreat check on the defender on every value. So, does Zhukov, who is in range 5, this is him right here, just off camera, 1, 2, 3, yeah. So, does he want to give a +1 shift at the cost of an extra loss? I think I'm willing to take the extra loss. So we're going to get a +1 shift, or I guess it's -1 shift. Shift left. Flipping Zhukov. He still has a reroll available. I think that might be only for the attack. We'll have to see. But yeah, so now we're looking at 2 to 1. I don't see any other support that can be brought in here. So yeah, let's do this. Got a 5 on the 2 to 1. That's A1, D1. Each side loses 1 step. Surviving defenders must either retreat and become disrupted or conduct a determined defense. We can advance at the normal rate if there is a retreat. It may have been dumb to throw Zhukov in there, but we'll flip this guy over for attacker loss. Defender loss, he has to take 2. I think we'll kill this unit and this unit. This guy will retreat 1, 2, what was that? That was an A1, D1, so a D1 retreats 2, I believe. I'll double check. So these guys go over to the eliminated units box. That's probably a bad choice on my part. They're also disrupted. These guys may advance. Regarding the retreat, by the way, just as a reminder, it's only a penalty going through a zone of control if it's 2 consecutive zones of control. So you went through 1, out. So these guys might as well advance, huh? Just come up here. They could go 1 more. Well, yeah, I think they're sort of stuck. All right, we'll just call it there. Okay, another combat. That's what I think I'm going to do for this stack. I can do individually or the stack. I'm going to attempt a disengagement. So that's a special thing during the combat phase. A unit can try to retreat 1 to 3 hexes. There's a 40% or 4 in 6 chance that it'll happen. So 1 in 6 chance they'll take a loss doing that. And if everything was mechanized or cavalry, we get a +1 to our die roll. So yeah, we're going to try to retreat these guys just to get them out of there a little quicker. Got a 6. A 6 is a yes on the chart. So they get to retreat, go through 1 zone of control, non-consecutive. Where do I want them? I think they'll come in here. All these guys are disrupted. I think he can stay there for the moment. I don't know if that was a good move or not, but yeah. Okay, let's move down the line. I don't think I have any other combats I want to do. No, during the movement phase, I should have moved this guy 1. Just get him a little closer there. Just a little cheaty. Combat, no, no, no. No. We planned on some things here. Oh, by the way, yeah, another cheater moment. I did forget about extended movement. So this guy that only went, he went 1, 2, 3 for exiting his zone of control. He could have gone 1 more, 4. And I could use extended movement, which adds 3, so I can go here. You can't go into an enemy zone of control with extended movement, but I think I like putting him there. Alright, so anyway, combat down here. We're going to do this. Is there any combat I want to do here? I don't think so. It's like a, oh yeah, no, no, no. So it's just here, and if I recall correctly, it's going to be a 3-to-1, was it? It's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, plus 6, 24, 4-to-1. 4-to-1. 6. So just making sure the 4-to-1 was correct. I think we had 3-to-1 odds. Okay, plus 4-to-1 for elite versus non-elite, or veteran. I don't know what the game calls it. So that's 4-to-1. I don't get a mechanized bonus, or tank bonus, as it's called, because we're attacking rough, and rough doesn't allow a tank bonus. It's called armor shift possible on the terrain effects chart. Okay, so we rolled a 6. On 4-to-1, that's D1 star. Defender must lose a step, and they must retreat or conduct a desperation defense. Normally they could conduct a determined defense, but the star requires them to do a desperation defense, which is just the same thing, just a little more desperate. If they retreat, I think a D1 was 2. Let's see, I guess we'll just, I think I will retreat. Just get back here, take a disrupted marker. Yeah, I mean, determined defense in other terrain. It's a decent chance of losing the unit. I'll just keep it. Okay, so these guys are going to conduct an advance. Mech can conduct an advance up to 3. Oh no, that's a bonus advance. Up to 2, so everyone could do 2. So, oh yeah, they do receive a bonus advance per D1. So D1, bonus advance. Mech can go 3. Everyone else 2. Not that it really matters. I'm inclined to have this stack. This guy's going to advance down here. Or do I want to advance back into here? Remember, you don't have to advance into the defender's hex. It's just sort of asking for an attack. That's okay. This guy's going to advance 2, 2. Yeah, you know what? Maybe. Oh, man, this is rough. Maybe he'll go here. Okay. So, do I want to put someone there? Basically letting the Russians come in and steal that defensive terrain there. I'm trying not to put my really mobile units into the front line, but I might have to. Yeah, let me back this out a little bit. Take a pause here. Yeah, maybe we'll just leave it like this. This guy will probably advance in the opposite direction, 1, 2, and bonus advance 3. What do these guys want to do? I think they'll stay here. They'll probably find themselves in the front line on the Soviet turn, but that's okay. I don't know. There's like, everyone's tied down, right? So I want to keep like a mobile reserve. All right, that's it for combat. Recovery phase. These guys are happy again. This guy's good. Yeah, that'll be really useful. Got a decent little stack here. Like, okay. Still obviously learning the game. Not sure if I'm making good choices, but I think the the Germans using their heavy armor to plug or push back breakthroughs, and then also pull back to avoid being disrupted in an enemy zone of control. That's sort of the strategy I'm going with. I feel like it's kind of working. Okay, that's now it's supply phase. Let's see, I think all the Germans are good in the southern area. So are there any, I think I've fixed everything up here too. I think the iffy areas were up in here. That's why I pulled back. This guy, you can trace through 1 hex, I think. 2, 3, 4 to rail. Let me double check. You know, I filmed this like days apart, like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, so sometimes I don't remember the rules. So let me remind myself if that guy is in supply. Okay, it can't go through 2 consecutive zones of control, so it's just going through 1 consecutive. So I think all the Germans are in supply. Yep, we're good. And that's the end of turn 2. Thanks for watching. Please point out any errors you spot, and keep your eyes open for turn 3.